EOS has been looking more bullish lately with our latest rally development. In our last update for EOS, we had this single purple pattern and we were calling this rally off of our wave 2 bottom, the 5-wave impulse, and we had a low, which I had been calling our wave 2 back here. Well, as you can see on my chart, we had a bit of a lower low, but it does look like a clean ABC correction. So I'm going to call this whole thing a 1-2. I would expect this pattern to hold our previous wave 2 low of 387, which is marked with this red line here. Would not like to break that because that would be a bad sign for the overall rally. But of course, the rest of the crypto sector is rallying pretty strongly and EOS is sure to follow. If you're trying to buy a lump sum, unlike with other cryptocurrencies, EOS is not too far above its buy zone at the moment. We're not that far above where our wave 2 correction had been. So you still have a chance to get in, and it may very well be your last chance to dump in a lump sum if you're trying to buy a big chunk of EOS. From here onwards, it's going to be strongly recommended to dollar cost average, which is of course buying a little bit at a time regularly, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, or whatever other cadence you have, which helps you detach emotionally and it prevents you from inadvertently buying peaks too often. On our big picture, things have not changed much at all since our last update. You can see how our MACD dipped back below zero and it has reset ever since. So we are primed to rally with our Fibonacci extension tool based on this 1-2 pattern that we have here. Our subwave 3 continues to target between 1082 and 1302. 1082 would be more than a 2x return from where we are at this moment. And getting to that third wave, which is of course marked with this green box, would require us to break through two resistances, one at 775, which would be relatively strong, and one at the 0.5 extension of this larger 1-2 pattern. And breaking through those would be a very good sign. It might open up the possibility to extend higher. Once we get to this green box, expect a sideways consolidation for wave 4, which may extend, may take some time. We may need to be patient while holding on for that correction to complete. And if we can hold support on that wave 4 consolidation, expect our subwave 5 to get to between 1459 and 1756. There happens to be a very strong resistance at 1393, which is the 0.618 extension of the larger pattern that happens to have pretty good confluence with the 1.764 target of the 1-2, which makes this a very likely topping region for EOS. Getting to that region would give us a nearly 3x return from where we are right now. If we can break through both of those resistances, especially the 0.618 extension of the larger pattern, this whole purple box is fair range for an eventual top. We could stretch as high as about $20, which is the next major resistance up, and well within the bounds of extensions for a blow off in this impulse. While that is my purple primary pattern, there is the alternate red pattern, which hasn't really invalidated, but I don't see any reason for this to be of great potential right now. That would call for this entire drop having been the A wave of a correction, this whole rally having been the fake out B wave rally or a corrective rally, and then it would call for a deeper wave C to take us well below our previous low. That is a small probability at the moment. And there is precedent for EOS to procrastinate a bit. I have pointed this out in many of the altcoins across the crypto sector that a lot of these things, they rally really uneventfully. They're not very strong early on, and you have a lot of deep corrections, primarily sideways movement starts to drain your hope away, and then you have blow-offs at the end for the third waves and the fifth waves. And I would not be surprised at all if we see the same kind of thing happen in EOS, because we've had this happen after the March 20th crash, as I was just pointing out. You can see this parabolic spike for the fifth wave. And of course, the fifth wave did hit the standard target exactly perfectly, the 1.764. So that tells me that we may have this thing lag behind and just frustrate you for a while until it just suddenly takes off into a parabolic rally. Would not be surprising at all. Now, this top up here would coincide with the major top in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when I say major, it would be the top that would punctuate a nearly 10-year bull cycle. So expect Ethereum and Bitcoin to be devastated. And of course, the power of that crash could suck down a lot of altcoins, even if they don't go down as hard as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that point would be a good time to take profits and reinvest into stablecoins or other asset classes while you wait out. That ensuing crash, I wouldn't expect to be as deep as for Bitcoin and Ethereum for EOS, but it would be deep enough to eat up pretty much all the profit you have if we do make it up to this point. So if we can wait out that crash, you'd have a fantastic buying opportunity in this ensuing wave 2. And this correction could last several months. It could last multiple years. It's not clear yet, too early to project. But once we drop there, that would set us up for a third wave. So just to reiterate, this this entire rally would be a 5-wave impulse for the subwave 1 of a much larger third wave. That much larger third wave has confluences that stretch all the way up as high as $185. And getting there from where we are right now, sitting around $5 in EOS, would be a 37x return. And so now it's a bit early to make a call on that, but it's just something to keep an eye on. If you feel FOMO, maybe you haven't gotten as much EOS as you would have liked, you'll probably have a much better buying opportunity down the line. And this applies not just to EOS, but various other cryptocurrencies. While Bitcoin and Ethereum may be crashing continuously for a couple of years, we may see these altcoins hit all-time highs during some of the bear market rallies. We might see a powerful B wave in some of those major cryptos, something like that. So there's hope there. Until then, we need to see how this rally structure develops. It may take a little while to materialize, but when it starts going, it's going to get going big time. Remember, dollar cost averaging is your friend. So don't over allocate as it starts moving up, because the top may come before you know it. For continued updates on EOS, don't forget to subscribe. And if you enjoyed my video, please like. Until next time, thank you for watching and happy trading.